Well, my favorite time period to actually write about, would be, even though I don't, before my time, would be his peak wrestling years in the 60s. I got such enjoyment from writing about that all through the 60s, because that's a period that is probably, of all his active career, we is the least known about in detail, and yet it's the most high profile part of his entire wrestling career. And let's say 63 to 69, but even the early 60s, when he's still bouncing around the territories, I found it fascinating, because what I wanted to do is give that level of granular detail for that era, just like we have for the 80s and 90s, where people won't shut up about it. There's been a million books and documentaries.
Yeah.
We know how many times Vince took a crap on this date. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong reference to make, but
Right.
we know how
Right.
many times Hulk Hogan, farted on June 4th, 1987. You know, but when you go back to the 60s, it's like mystery, and we don't, the details aren't often talked about for that company. And I wanted to do that in this book, and I feel like I did. So it was like discovering all this great stuff that happened, and breaking some myths too. And even what's beautiful is, in some of the newspapers, they were still covering pro wrestling in the newspapers in detail. Like, they would have
Love
reporters at
that.
ringside. So for matches where there's no footage, which is pretty much all of them in that time period, I have blow by blow descriptions from sports writers. So
That's
I'm able
awesome.
to create visual pictures of some of these matches.